Hey guys, this is going to be another guide video. It's going to be more geared towards tips and tricks type stuff though. So, small stuff that'll just generally make life easier on this and make everything easier. So, the very first one I'm going to tell you is one a lot of you probably already know about, but some of you may not. If you are breeding some frogs together, here, let me go down here. So if I am breeding this one and this one together, if I want to breed 8 of these, there is a much faster way to do it than just hitting breed, and that you don't actually have to wait for the menu to come up before the buttons are active. So if I went really fast, the menu would never actually come up more than once. Alright, so let's see if I can do this. You might be able to see it on the camera. Ah, messed that one up. Hang on. But yeah, you could kind of see it. I think it's full now. You could kind of see it. If you go really fast, and you can tap where the button normally would be, even if the button isn't there yet, it can help you go a little bit faster. It's really not that big a deal, but it can help in the long run. So that's the first one. The second one, if you do races, I don't usually do races because I just never win. I don't really understand them. I don't know, they seem kind of stupid to me, but for the people who like them, there are actually certain color schemes of certain frogs that are better for the races. I'll show you what I mean. Here, for Anuras, I've completed 100% of the Anuras, so it lets me see the stats for each one. Here, I'll start listing off the stats. The speed and stamina for the very first frog you see up here is 6 and 7. 6-6. 7-6. 6-6. 7-6. 6-7. Alright, so you can see most of them are 6 and 7, 7 and 6. But there are a very select few. I think it's 2 frogs for every primary color, where that frog has the max, where normally it would have like a 7 and then a 6, or both are 6s and that's kind of low. This maroon pruny frog has both speed and stamina of 7. So if it has a speed and stamina of 7 for both of them, and that is much better, obviously, than all these other ones that have a combination of 6 and 7. Another one like that is a maroon chroma, down here at the bottom, which has 7 and 7. That changes, however, for each primary color. So if I go to red now, 6-6, 7-6, 7-6, 6-6, and then if we go down to red pruny, where it was before, it's at 6-7. It's not at 7-7. Red viola is a 7-7. So certain ones are better for races than other ones. So if you're really into races, then you should find out which ones those are. I can't tell you what all of them are because I do not have my froggy decks all the way filled out. So if I were to go all the way down here to this one of Aru, look at that, 0%, 0% complete, 0% complete. So I can't tell you which maroon frog is best because it doesn't tell me until after I've bred that frog. So I can't elaborate on that anymore. Alright, for the third tip. Potions and stamps eliminate the time needed for things by 4 hours each. Now, this is actually very useful because let's say if I go to my mailbox, these things are going to be mailed in 1 day and 16 hours. Now 1 day is 24 hours, so if we divide the 24 by 4, we get 6. So that's 6 stamps right there. The 16 hours, divide that by 4, is 4 stamps. So 4 plus 6 is 10 stamps. Now it says that I need 11 stamps, which is 1 more than I would normally need. So, then I should need. So what that tells me is that the 1 day and 16 hours that this is telling me it takes is actually off by a little bit. It probably means 1 day, 16 hours, and then so many minutes. So if I were to wait, if I were to order this right now for 11 stamps, I would actually be wasting 1 stamp. Because if I were to wait sometime less than an hour for this to go down to 1 day and 15 hours, the stamp will go down by 1, and it'll only take 10 stamps. So I can save myself a stamp by waiting less than an hour. I mean, I could just wait 5 minutes here and I'll save myself a stamp. I don't know how long it is. But that applies to lower level frogs. These are kind of high level. So if something takes 4 hours and 5 minutes to go, it'll require 2 stamps. But if you wait 5 minutes, it'll only require 1 stamp. So you can save stamps and potions that way. Potions also take away 4 hours of growing time off of the frog. So if I was to go, I don't have any high levels that are breeding right now, so I can't show you that. But yeah, so you can save time that way too. Yes. And something else which I already explained in one of my other videos is that each frog generally has a specific or a unique max value and a speed stamina. So if I were to take the max value here, which is 66, you can't really see it, 66, speed is 12, stamina is 13, there will not be any other frogs with that same max value speed and stamina combination. You won't find any. Now there are some exceptions to this. They are rare, like I found out in my other video, my other guide video. But that is generally something you can count on, and I usually do count on it when I'm breeding and I'm looking for one that I want. So yeah, it's a good thing to save time, because you know exactly what you have and what you don't have, even in egg form. Alright, breeding times. For each pattern of frog, there's a different breeding time. I'll show this to you. It may not be a big difference, but there is some difference. So here, these are all Crustalli frogs. If I go to this one, the breeding time over here is 36 minutes. You can't really see it, but that says, let's see if I zoom in. No, it says 36 minutes anyway, and that's for a Crustalli. Now if I were to go back out and go down here to an Anura frog, the breeding time is only 30 minutes. So even if it's just a little bit different, it still differs for each frog. So that can help you tell just straight off the bat what kind of frog it is. So if I were to look at an egg and it had, let's see if that will work for these. This one, where is it? Right now it says 29 minutes left, which doesn't tell me the original breeding time. I'm gonna say, oh, it's a rarity of 2, so it's not an Anura, which has a rarity of 1. You can just pick up on those types of things, and it'll generally, yeah, rarity of 1 for an Anura. Pick up on those types of things, memorize what kinds of frogs have different things, and it'll definitely make it easier for you to breed. Alright, Anuras. You notice, or you probably have noticed if you've been watching my videos, every single frog that I have right now is very, very low level. Considering I'm level 16, they're almost all less than level 4. Which, you may be wondering, what is wrong? Why doesn't he get some high level frogs? Well, I have them all in my catalog, and you may think, well, hey, if they're in your catalog, just get them out. I don't want them right now. They take up space, and right now I am trying to get the Crustalli section, actually, of my Froggydex completed. So I'm trying to get this Crustalli section at 100%, like the Anuras. Right now it's only at 13%. So I'm just trying to breed those, and if I just take a whole bunch of legendary frogs and put them in here, they'll just take up space, they'll be expensive, growing times, taming times will all take forever. I just don't like them in general. The lower level frogs are much easier to work with. So that's why I have all of my colors in Anura form, because if I were to put them in some legendary frog form, and I just wanted to get a color scheme, if I breed 2 legendary frogs together, it can cost me well over 2,000 coins just to breed once. And if I were waiting for that color scheme to grow, it could take me days for it to grow. Whereas if I were to just use Anuras, it would take me 30-minute growing time, which I could eliminate in the pond by taking it to the pond, make that go much faster. And if I wanted to use stamps, it would only cost me like one stamp. I don't know why I would do that though. It's only 30 minutes and one stamp gives you 4 hours. So I wouldn't waste one on that. But yeah, and it's much cheaper to breed. Here, I'll show you. If I breed 2 Anuras together, look at that. Breed for 28 coins. A measly 28 coins compared to 2,000, which it would cost me if I were to breed legendaries together. So yeah, that's why Anuras or low-level frogs are usually better for things like that. Next tip, happiness items. I've got 7 happiness items in all of my habitats, which you may think, well, that's not that big a deal. It really is. It makes a big difference. Because right now, all of these, anything that I keep in my habitats for a while, well, this one I just made, so if I go to a different one, like up here, this one has been here for a while. It's been sitting in my habitat. Now it's at 100% happiness. I didn't even do anything. I never took that to the pond. And it's at 100% happiness. So if I want to sell something, all I have to do is let it sit in my habitat for a while, and it'll automatically go to 100% happiness. I never have to take it to the pond, which is very nice. Also for races. This is very important for races because if you start a race, you want whatever frog it is to be at 100% happiness. So that way, instead of going to the pond before you start a race, you can just take it right out and race without doing anything, because your habitat already put it at 100% happiness. So that's why these items are really nice to have around. I just put all mine in the corner because I don't want them to get in the way of me seeing my frogs. But yeah, they're very, very handy. Very nice to have. Taming for XP at lower levels. If you have a bunch of frogs that you're going to sell and you need XP badly to level up, that's a good way to get XP. You can just tame the frog before you sell it, and it gives you the XP for taming it. It may not seem like much, but it doesn't cost any money. It's free, just taming it. So free XP at lower levels is always nice. That's a good way to do it. You don't have to, but it'll make things a little bit faster. Also, if you're trying to breed, like for challenges such as, whoops, I'll go to my challenges real quick to show you. For challenges that require 8 of the exact same type of frog, for example, this tribal challenge, collect 8 mature black Floris tribus frogs in the same habitat. So it wants me to collect 8 of the exact same type of frog. Well, if you use the basic target breeding method that I described in a previous video to get one of those frogs, and then you use it again to get 2 of those types of frogs, then you can breed those 2 of the exact same together, and you'll just get the same frog over again. I don't know, a lot of people may already know about this, but it's pretty handy, pretty basic, and very nice. Alright, let me try and show you. So if I were to breed this glass chroma Anura with another glass chroma Anura, look, the only possibility is a glass chroma Anura. So that's a good way to get a whole bunch of those if I wanted to. I don't want to right now, so I'm not going to breed them. But yeah, that's a good strategy. Last thing, weekly sets. These can be really, really handy. I've already completed the only 2 weekly sets that have come out so far. There's another one coming out tonight at midnight, which I'm going to be looking for that tomorrow when I wake up, and I'm going to try and complete it right away. But this one, this Autumn Evolution, I remember the reward. It was 20 stamps and 20 potions just to breed those 4 frogs. That's really nice. I'm really glad I did that challenge. I already used up the potions. I saved the stamps. But yeah, that was very, very convenient to have that. So weekly set rewards can be very nice, and you get a nice little thing in here to tell you that you've completed them, which I like that kind of thing. It makes me feel like I've achieved something, so yeah, that's always nice. I suggest you do these. You don't necessarily have to, but it's very nice. So that just about concludes my tips and tricks video. go ahead and subscribe if you want to see other videos later on to help you organize your frogs more and give you more ideas on what to do. But yeah, other than that, it's over, so I'll see you guys later.